because at first it kicks me out of my own streams, and then once it kicks me out of my own streams, when I have to come back, it shows a black screen, which honestly sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you, it honestly sucks. I need to report this once I'm done with streaming, because I can only imagine what is going to happen when I do watch alongs, and I have to stream for like 7 hours, 8 hours, and then the stream all of a sudden stops and I have to restart again. Um, YouTube is kind of annoying me right now. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, oof, I'm so deflated by what just happened. But I'll report it. That's fine. So, Karine Silva versus Dione Barbosa. I genuinely do feel like Dione Barbosa is not particularly that great, to be honest. I don't think she's been facing elite level competition in 3 fights in the UFC. I think Miranda Maverick is probably the best competition she's ever faced. Whereas Karine Silva, despite her poor performance in her last fight, has been facing top level competition, which is obviously kind of sad because we are in an era where young prospects are losing to older experienced fighters. Aunties are beating young prospects, unks are beating young prospects, and it's a sad time in the sport. But Hamza Chimaev and Dricus Duplessis are making it. I think this is probably one of the most anticipated fights I've ever waited for. I don't know how to even articulate what I want to say. I'm so flipping excited that I if this card was like a fight night card with the Dricus Duplessis at the top, Stembele, Hamzat any day, anytime, anywhere. Shout out Stembele. Are you South African, man? Your name sounds like you are a South African guy. So it's sad that Karine Silva actually lost to Viviane Araújo, because I generally did expect her to dominate that fight. But I mean, Araujo is a pretty decent and solid veteran in the division. But once again, we are in a situation where prospects are losing to older fighters who are supposed to be close to retirement, and yet they're turning back all these talented prospects. Well, maybe I don't know if it's talent or it's because they don't have heart, but Silva looked horrible in her last fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. She wasn't her normal wrestle heavy self. But even with that, I feel like the level of competition that Silva has faced is significantly better than anyone that Dione Barbosa has ever faced. I mean, in her last fight, she fought what do you call it? Dione Belbita or something like that. The best competition, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, is Miranda Maverick, which is not particularly great to be honest. Stembele, yeah, South African from Durban. Shout out to you, man. You are South African too, I can see. Keep it up. Let's go. Shout out, man. I hardly see a lot of South Africans on the stream, so I'm happy to see you here, man. Hope you're subscribed and hope you join the live streams a lot more. Um, yeah. So as far as the breakdown goes, let's see. So Karine Silva is going to have a bit of an advantage as far as reach goes. She's going to have a 1.5-inch reach advantage. Not that much, but I mean, it's women's MMA, so who knows. As far as finishing ability, obviously Karine Silva is going to be significantly better with a 94% finishing rate. Dione Barbosa is not that great at 50%, and 50% of her finishes are coming from submissions, which is not going to work in this particular fight because that's where Karine Silva excels. Karine Silva can easily decide she's going to strike, and she's probably going to win. Dione Barbosa does not have a finish via TKO. Barbosa has only had, as far as I can tell, based on the information I have, Barbosa has only won, or rather, has only finished fights via submission, not via TKO or KO. So because of that, man, I don't know, man. I feel like this almost guarantees that Karine Silva is going to win. Horror podcast, English horror stories. What's the worst thing to do to an orphan? Give him a TV remote without a home button. Wow, that's kind of crazy. So because of that, I think I'm even more confident in what do you call her, Karine Silva winning this fight. As far as striking goes, Dalen Hollander. This is Willow's dad. I don't even know who that is, but I assume it's going to be an offensive thing. Anyway, Drogo Klaus win, bro. Draka Klaus is not gonna win, my guy. Karine Silva is going to be significantly busier in this particular fight. As far as output, I think she's going to be throwing a lot more on the feet. Whether it's punches, kicks, whatever it is, I think she's going to be throwing significantly more, not significantly, but slightly more than Dione Barbosa. So if it ever goes to a decision, I think I'm going to lean more towards Karine Silva. As far as defense, both of them are pretty decent defensively, but Barbosa is a little bit better. But I mean, look at who she's been fighting, man. The fact that Karine Silva looks decent defensively when she's fighting people like Viviane Araujo, Ariane Lipski, and all these pretty talented fighters, or pretty decent, let me not say talented, but pretty decent athletes, and still have the ability to actually have some type of defense. Whereas Dione Barbosa has been fighting people like Diana Balbita and Miranda Maverick and Karakati or something like that. I mean, obviously, it's easier to look good against those kind of opponents, as opposed to the high level of opponents that Karine Silva has been facing. So, in all honesty, I'm going to give the advantage to Karine Silva on the feet. I think, even though it's not significant, that 1 inch reach advantage, that 1.5 inch reach advantage, I'm going to respond to everyone once I'm done breaking down this particular fight. So this 1.5 inch reach advantage, combined with the fact that Silva is going to have a bit of a volume advantage, as well as the pretty decent defensive striking, or rather defense striking defense. I think that's going to give her a massive advantage on the feet. I think, especially when you consider the fact that Dione Barbo, Dione Barbosa has never finished a fight via TKO or KO, whereas 50% of um, what do you call her, Karine Silva's finishes have come from TKO or KO. So clearly, if anyone is going to win on the feet, it's probably going to be Karine Silva. Grappling wise, which is where Dione Barbosa is supposed to excel, I don't think she's going to excel that much because Karine Silva is significantly better on the feet than Dione Barbosa. So I'm inclined to say, you know what? Silva probably is probably one of the few fighters on the card that might be a lock. To be honest, I don't think there's any way that Silva loses this fight. To be honest, on the ground, I think she can out wrestle Barbosa. Barbosa has horrible takedown defense. Even though she's good offensively, defensively she's terrible. Um, Silva is good defensively and very good offensively on the ground. So I genuinely feel like anywhere this fight goes, anywhere this fight plays out, I think Karine Silva is going to win. I wouldn't be surprised if she finds a way to finish it. Anyway, my subscribers and I are going with Karine Silva. Let me respond to your comment so that I can bounce. Um, Horror podcast, English horror stories. Why are Americans so good at Rubik's cubes? Because they have a history of separating colors. That's funny. Stembele. Silva by decision. I agree. Yeah, shout out to you, man. I generally do think that the Silva is going to win. So if you're new to the channel, man, I'm going to be improving my streaming significantly. I'm buying new equipment and everything. Like I'm going to make sure that the streaming is is world class. So shout out to the people who've been with me growing. Obviously, the biggest part of the channel is the shorts, but I love streaming. I love interacting with you, especially during the watch alongs. So if you're not part of that, make sure that you join us for the watch alongs. We can watch the fights. We can interact during the fights together. I do live predictions and breakdowns as well. Even though sometimes I get tired, but I do them. But yeah, starting from September, maybe within the first 2 weeks of September, you'll see a massive improvement, not just on the streaming section of the channel, even the standard video section of the channel. The equipment that I'm going to be buying will allow me to create better content, even narrative content. I want to maybe try out making short films, but related to MMA and stuff like that. So I'm going to work really hard to actually improve the content on the channel. So subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I break down fights, by the way, for every single card, every single day, Monday to Friday, actually. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Go through the channel. There's so much on every section of the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, deuces.